open public hearing, seeking public input regarding ordinance number 14-1855, interim zoning ordinance relating to recreational and medical use marijuana. I call this public hearing open. Public comment, do we want to have that ordinance read, do you think, gentlemen, council members? Probably should be here.
Should have given the summary of it.
Okay, Paul, would you like to do that, please? All comments will be reserved to 3 minutes.
This is an ordinance of the City of Pacific, Washington relating to the recreational and medical use of marijuana, adopting an interim zoning ordinance prohibiting the siting, establishment, and operation of any structures, property, or uses relating to recreational or medical marijuana, production, processing, cultivation, storage, sale, delivery, exchange, or bartering, to be in effect until the city adopts permanent zoning regulations on the same subject, which includes a prohibition on the submission of business license applications for such uses. This interim ordinance is to be effective immediately, setting 6 months as the effective period of the interim zoning ordinance and establishing the date of a public hearing on the interim zoning ordinance.
Thank you. Now we're open for public comment. If you'd like to speak on this, please come up to the microphone, identify who you are and residence. For the
My name hasn't changed since the last time I was here.
please identify yourself.
My name is Doug Steinhauer. I'd just like to make one comment on the ordinance. The last city council meeting was voted in my mind is sharp when you're 75. But it voted in a delay in establishing marijuana licenses, and that date took place February, whenever the last license was. So the city council is going to put in a 6-month moratorium. It should be retroactive to February when they had the last city council meeting. Otherwise, the moratorium is 7 months, not 6 months. And if you're including that, what you did last time, so that there's people that have their licenses and are ready to go into business, and the council is prohibiting them from making a living. And I don't think that this is a very fair law. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Amy, is there an opportunity for you to explain why we're having this public hearing tonight, just so clarity?
In the ordinance, it states that the ordinance has gone into effect and that we are required to have a public hearing to receive public input regarding this ordinance. Then council will need to make a decision on whether or not they decide to, if they want to continue the ordinance for the remainder of the 6 months, or if they would like to put other regulations in place. This is simply to receive public input tonight.
Thank you.
Can you also state the date that the ordinance went into effect?
February 3rd is when it went into effect. So 6 months from that date.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments?
Hi, my name is Jason Hutto. I actually rent the building from Doug Steinhauer that I've applied for a license to grow recreational marijuana in your city. And I would just like to reiterate some of the comments that I made the first time I came to the city council meeting when you were looking at doing the moratorium, which is that I realize you guys have put a 6-month interim zoning in, and you're going to start working on it. But if there's some urgency that can be put into that, because there are, including myself, other people that have applied for these licenses, rented buildings, when there was no moratorium, no zoning variance. The rest of the state, most of the smaller cities that weren't sure whether they wanted this in their neighborhoods were very proactive in either coming up with moratoriums or zoning variances pretty early on. The city of Pacific seems like it did not make those decisions while applicants were applying and going through the process of, vetting the neighborhoods that they were going to be in, and waited until it got notices from the Washington State Labor Control Board that they had applications in their area before it then decided to, take a look at this matter more deeply. And I guess I would just hope that maybe we can put some, urgency behind that, because, currently I have a lease that requires me to pay $15,000 a month, and I'm going to go bankrupt if we don't get that going. So I've got to make a decision either to walk away from that lease or to continue to pay $15,000 a month for the next 6 months. And I know there's other individuals that are in a similar circumstances as me. So I'm just asking for some urgency, please. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Are there any other comments?
Hello, my name is Matthew Gabori. First, I'd like to thank the council for taking it under consideration and looking into the possible zoning requirements for recreational marijuana. And I would like to just touch further on Jason's point. I'm a partner as well in this company looking to move to Pacific. I would just like to say that we were very excited when we first started looking around at the potential of locating our business here. We were all considering moving our residence as well as the business here, and we would like to just extend our willingness to work with the City Council in any way that we possibly can in order to provide information, logistics, functional information, whatever is possible to help make an informed decision as far as me is concerned.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other public comment?
Hello, James Dusick, 898 Valentine Avenue, Southeast. Thanks again for reconsidering this. And just to, elaborate on Jason and Matthew, what they just said, I mean, the time to consider this was a year ago, I mean, I started this process November 18th, had to lease a building, applied, got my license last Thursday from the state. So I am licensed, although I want to work with you to follow through in the right manner. It's just, as I said, it's a huge financial burden to be put under at this time. And I just really think that a lot of the rules and concerns that I've heard, well, first of all, I'd like to say I've gone to so many of these meetings, and I've never heard one person get up here and speak against it, actually. It's always just been us talking about how we want to work with you. We're in the, just doing our best to be business community members and things like that. And I've never heard one person get up here against it, not to mention have legitimate, arguments that would fall under all of this energy being spent on keeping us out. I think if we spent that much energy on making this work, I think we'd all just be in a way better position, And really, that's it. I just hope you just reconsider and just, I think moving forward, spending that energy on that will result in just an all-around better deal for everybody. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tom Bates. I work with Jason and Matthew, and I just wanted to say that if there's anything that can help you in reference to giving you information for the 502, you guys got a lot on your plate. It's a small city. You've been through a lot over the last years, and we understand that. But I do think that if you just actually look at the 502 and what I said before, if you really want to do something responsible and take it from black market and bring it up front, and if you actually look at 502 or read any of the documents, the requirements for the security, the background checks, the fingerprints, there's more scrutiny with that than there is in any other business. So if you need a copy of the 502 regulations or a summary or anything like that, whoever we need to get that to or prepare that package to help you with your time frame to do that, we'd be more than happy to do that. And I don't know if there's anybody that we should talk to specifically about that, or would that help you guys?
We have an advisory committee, and we should be finalizing the members of it, I believe this Friday, presenting it to the planning commission by Monday or Tuesday.
And who makes up the advisory committee? Is it public, or is it just between the council?
No, it's a public committee, people can apply, it's been announced.
Okay, is it on the webpage or something like that that's been announced, so people know about it?
It's on our city, I think, TV station, the city website, we posted it at City Hall.
Great, okay.
So the thing is even if you're not on the committee, we still want people to come and share
Yeah, great.
information. We want facts.
Right, well, we want to put a package to try to help that, so the committee can have that, or you all, or whatever needs to be done.
That's
all
going to be
we
the
want.
forum for that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Don Thompson, 416 Second Avenue Southeast. I have a sister with MS, that I mentioned before. She's been on medical marijuana for many years. She's had troubles with law and whatnot in the past, so I've seen what it can do for her. I've also seen people who have used it, and can't talk to them when they abuse it. The marijuana today is much more potent than what I dealt with when I was in the military in the 60s. I was on a board that would deal with the problems we had. My interesting concern is these people, for some reason, decided Pacific was a good town to set up shop. They set up shop and spent their money and whatnot before the state even come down with all the rules and before the city could do anything. And kind of like putting a cart before the horse. I'm sorry, I don't have any, sympathy for them, because anytime you do a business, you make sure you got all the I's dotted and the T's crossed before you pursue. I still don't think our police department has enough capability to deal with any problems we have. How do you test for marijuana? Alcohol, you can smell it. You can do a blood test on it. Do we take them to the hospital for a blood test? That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Any other public comments on the agenda? You've already, Gary, I was going to say you've already.
Okay, because that's not necessarily the case. I mean,
Okay.
Gary Nitschke, 102 Butte Avenue. Mr. Busick, I've been to probably all of these meetings, and people have come up and spoke against it. So I noticed that you just showed up here a couple months ago and been coming in here in a threatening manner, threatening our town. So try and take it easy. Didn't see you at the last meeting, the planning commission meeting, where an advisory committee was being discussed. So please try and take it easy on us folks here. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Hi, my name's Autumn, and I'm from 898 Valentine. And to the gentleman here that says that, putting the cart before the horse, all the rules were in place by the Liquor Control Board prior to the application process starting. And the application process actually started November 18th. And at that time, you had to have your establishment to complete the process. And unfortunately, the application process was only open for 30 days. And moratorium here, that didn't go into effect until February 3rd. So from November 18th until February 3rd, there was no moratorium. And so all the I's were dotted and all the T's were crossed because we followed every step that we had to come and to do business in Washington State. You know, we don't live in this town, and again, the reason we came here is because there was no moratorium, and that's why we've invested all of our money here. We did look in other cities closer to home, and we would have gone there, but they had moratoriums in place prior to the application process starting. So I'm not really sure what you're referring to when you say the cart, you know, before the horse, and that the I's weren't dotted and T's weren't crossed, because we have taken every measure we've had to do that. And, you know, if you have any questions for us, we're happy to answer it for you. But literally now we've been paying since November for, as Jason has, for an empty building. And we've been coming to these meetings trying to work with the city council here. And this gentleman here that says that James has come up and spoken and been aggressive, he hasn't been aggressive, not one time. And in fact, the lady here, she records all the city council meetings on YouTube. And so you can go back through every single city council meeting that we have come to. And we've come to every single one, basically, once we were informed that this was going to be happening. And you can go through these YouTube videos and look through them and see there's nothing ever any one of us has done to be aggressive towards the council. So again, you know.
If we could just not deal with a personal issue. I know that it's
Yeah,
difficult, but.
Right, and I guess
Yeah, so.
we were addressed when we were spoken to, and James, the same was brought up. So I just want to make sure to address the two gentlemen that made statements towards us. And so everyone else who is in here that hasn't been coming to these meetings, you know, the fear factor and how people just ramble on these statements, it's not accurate. So if there's any questions from the public, we're happy to answer them for you. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Second time, any other comments? Third time, any other comments? Hearing none or seeing anybody stand up, I close this public hearing.